What's going on, guys? Today I want to talk about Shigaraki and his liberation, which ironically goes pair for pair with his war in My Hero Academia with the Liberation Front. In My Hero Academia, it's the basic synopsis of the story is that it is about heroes who maintain the sanity within or the function of society, who also protect against villains. These villains, as well as the heroes and everyone in society, have what are called quirks. These quirks are the superpowers that most individuals have. It's become such a rare occurrence for one to be born in this world without superpowers. And as such, as people do, some people use that neutrally, some people use it for the force of good, some people use it for the force of bad. And in particular, the main proponent of the antagonistic force within the story is Shigaraki. Shigaraki Tomura was born not really knowing what his power was, and as such, he's a character who has experienced a lot of trauma because his powers were unknown growing up. And during the struggle of his battle with the Liberation Front, he's coming into recognition of what he's suppressed all this time in his life. He looked back on the moment in time where he came into the realization that his power allows him to turn whatever he touches into dust. And he looks back at the time when this manifested. And it manifested, unfortunately, at the demise of his dog, his sister, his parents, but one member of his party, one member of his family he truly wanted to bring about this impact or this effect to, and that was his father. His father treated him very poorly, and because of that, he had a traumatic response to his father, which led him to scratch his eyes whenever he came near. And the moment after he manifested his powers and saw that it brought people to death, basically, after seeing his dog and his sister meet their end, his dad reached forward to him. Or his dad, I think, was running away, whichever case it might be. Shigaraki reached to grab him with the intent to kill him. And that intent to Shigaraki felt good. It was the liberation of the burden of his father. After this, he became an orphan. He's having to deal with the loss and coming to terms with what he had done. And he meets a mentor who leads him along the wrong path. His name is One for All. He's another half of the antagonistic force within My Hero Academia. And Shigaraki, because of his experiences and how he grew up, he came to hate heroes. He came to hate how society functions. He became the outcast. He became the symbol of everything that the hero society ignores. And regardless of whether you agree with Shigaraki's philosophy or his intentions, we can all draw a lesson, especially as Black men, from his experience with the Liberation Front. In that, as he's fighting, he's coming to terms with his past. Good or bad, he's coming to accept it. He's coming to accept mistakes. He's coming to accept everything that he has done. He used to keep the preserved hands of his family members all around his body to keep his consciousness or his psyche from falling apart. But after coming to terms with what he had done and accepting it fully, he no longer needed them. And not only did this free him mentally, but it freed his quirk to manifest in full fray. Now, not only can he turn what he touches into dust, but there's an area effect to it. Everything in the area also turns to dust. And there's a rejoicing that we all can have in gleeful destruction, which is what Shigaraki experienced. The enlightenment of acceptance sometimes comes in the form of destruction. And like Shigaraki, Black men, we are the symbolic representation of everything that society says is wrong. Without us, there is no truth because society has nothing to weight its values against. There has to be a proxy devil. And unfortunately, we are that proxy devil. Or maybe it's not so unfortunate, because the only way that we can change a system thriving and prospering is by operating as a counter system. And Professor Tommy J. Curry's The Man Not, he notes the concept of anti-ethics, which is what all Black men are positioned to be regardless of their choice. But what if we did decide to embrace anti-ethics? We would accept everything around us as it is, and then we could move to destroy it. We can engage in gleeful destruction through acceptance of our surroundings, through the acceptance of what we've been through the acceptance of the traumatic mistakes and mishaps that we may have engaged in. And we could use that to better ourselves. It's not about whether you agree with the fact that Shigaraki is hell-bent on just destroying for the sake of destruction, whether you agree with that concept or not. What it is about is accepting the fact that as a Black man, no matter what you do, no matter how you position yourself, I don't care if you are a CEO, I don't care if you are at the highest political seat, there is an underlying narrative that speaks to you, or rather reinforces you, whether you like it or not, as society's devil. For me, I'm not uncomfortable with that title. I'll be society's devil. I'll be everything that they hate, if it means that I can destroy everything that is destroying us. There's a time for gleeful destruction. You see, like Shigaraki, who laughs at everything that's being upended, I have the same feeling when I see everything that the dominant society put in place to destroy us coming to a crumble. And we can bring that about ourselves. Brothers, if we accept that title, if we accept everything surrounding us, everything that they put on us, we transmute it to our good through new ideas, through values, through ethics, through behavior, through character that directly opposes the common social order, or rather the dominant social order, and we create our own social order. But the only way that we can bring order about is first destroying what's already there, first destroying what is not working any longer. Brothers, the time for gleeful destruction is now. And if we don't bring it about, no one will. For some of you, you might be uncomfortable with being society's proxy devil, but your discomfort with that title isn't going to change it. It's been thrust on you nonetheless. Centuries of work from the white supremacist society have been committed to placing that burden on you. And truth be told, we might not be relieved of that burden, those of us in our generation, even the few generations to come after. But if we put in the work now, each generation coming after, the burden can be a little lighter as we destroy a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, until there's nothing left representing the old society that used to oppress us. Instead, all that there is left is a society that allows Black men to thrive, allows Black men to breathe, allows Black men to laugh and rejoice. But until we can bring that about, every step that we take daily has to be done in such a way that we bring about gleeful destruction, has to be done in such a way that we're mindful of those coming after us. Ain't no escape, so the only thing that we can do is accept where we are now, and through the embrace of acceptance, we can bring about gleeful and necessary destruction. 1.